Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, and in today's video, me and Drake here
Hi.
are going to be making a Mega Man 7 podcast, as you saw by the title and thumbnail.
Maybe they didn't. Who knows?
Then why did they click on the video?
Maybe they're just scrolling and they saw something. And
Yeah,
they're
so
like,
that means they would have saw the
this
thumbnail.
looks fun!
So that means they would have saw the thumbnail.
Oh, God. So...
Yeah,
Mega Man 7.
the first game that wasn't on the NES.
Yeah, it was on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah. Which I personally don't like the Super Nintendo as much as the NES, but it has fine games on it.
Yeah, it's just Mega Man S.P.R.I.T.E is massive.
Yeah, Mega Man S.P.R.I.T.E is pretty big compared to everything else.
Yeah, like, not just it looks like he is. He is massive.
Yeah, I think they did a better job with the scaling in Mega Man X since it's on the same console.
Yeah,
I
feel like it was at its peak on the NES, though.
Yeah, the scaling in that was definitely the best. Because as it went on, he's either, like, too big or too small.
Yeah. So, let's start off with the, story.
Of course.
So, do you remember the story?
Because
I remember the story, but I don't know if you will.
I think the story...
Do you want me to say it?
No, I'd like to do it this time, but I'd got...
Alright. I'll tell you if you screw it up.
Okay.
I'll correct you on that.
So, in the year 20XX, the world cheered Mega Man went at long last he captured the imprisoned Dr. Wily. But Dr.
You are reading this off of somewhere.
I'm reading off the wiki.
God damn it.
I'll continue.
Okay.
Well, it's more accurate this way.
It doesn't matter. It sounds more fluid when somebody says it.
I guess. But Dr. Wily...
Should I just do it? Because it sounds better, I guess.
I'm already, like, halfway done it.
Fine, then.
Dr. Wily always knew his schemes might end in failure and planned just for an occasion. 4 robots have been hidden away after 6 months without being contacted by Dr. Wily. They activate and begin searching for their master.
Few things are wrong with that.
Nah?
Yep. Not only did they not know where their master was, where Dr. Wily was, but they already knew where he was. So much for that. Whatever. So yeah.
Next time I won't read it.
Yeah. So, are we moving on?
Yeah, so... I forget how the, like, intro card is in this game.
The intro?
Yeah, like, you know, the Mega Man 5 intro, like, where it just has the title card.
Oh, like it just shows Proto Man's scarf?
Yeah.
That's pretty much the same thing here in 7, but there's just a blue background.
Well, that's pretty meh.
I'll say it when we talk about stages.
Yeah. So, I guess we're on to Robot Masters again.
Yep. So, who is there? There's Freeze Man, there's Burst Man, there is,
Cloud Man, Junk Man, Coil Man, Slash Man, Shade Man?
Shade Man and Spring Man.
And Turbo Man.
Turtle Man does not... What?
Turbo.
Oh, I thought you said turtle, and I said, dude, like, isn't he in your Mega Man 13 or 12
Yeah.
video.
Which you guys should go watch.
Yeah, you should absolutely go watch that.
So, do you want to start, like how we usually do, what we start with?
So we start off with, like, the boss order and stuff?
Yeah.
Sure.
So
I usually start at Freeze then.
I usually start at Cloudman, because I find him to be the easiest and have the easiest stage.
Yep, I think you've talked about this with me before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, sometimes I also fight Cloudman first, so I'll also agree.
Yeah.
Go Cloudman on this one. So, we go from Cloudman to
Junkman.
Junkman.
My favorite Robot Master from this game.
To Freeze, to Freeze Man, to Burst Man.
Yeah, I think Burst Man is weak to the, Mega Buster, but his boss is...
No, he's weak to Freeze Cracker.
Huh, I thought he was weak. Okay.
Okay, one other thing I just want to state.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You need some of the weapons to get the rush parts.
Yeah.
And so, eventually I revisit those stages once I've beaten the Robot Masters, so much for that. So yeah, that's cool.
And then when the, second, like, patch of bosses, like, summon in.
Yeah.
Like, the next group of bosses summon in, then I go to a Coil Man, because he's the easiest in this game.
One, you mean Spring, and two, I would usually start off with Slash Man, because he's the only one you have the weakness for.
I just go to Coil Man, because he's very easy to beat. Spring. I keep calling him Coil Man because of his weapon being called Coil. Something. Yeah, so I usually go to Spring Man, but we can go to Slash Man for this one.
Okay, so we're gonna go from Slash Man, then we go to a Spring Man.
Yep.
Which makes sense because it would, like, cut the spring in half.
Yeah.
And then we would go to Shade Man, and again, it makes sense because the springs bounce and he's always in the air, so.
And then we go from Shade Man to Turbo Man.
That one doesn't make sense.
I mean, kinda, because when you're driving in the dark, it is pretty dangerous.
Dude, Shade Man's weapon is waves.
Oh yeah, sound waves.
Yeah, that does not make sense at all. Okay. And since Turbo Man is sound-based, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So...
That's like big Robot Masters that don't make sense.
That's it for Robot Masters. Now we move on to the weapons.
Their weapons. So...
I feel like I really like the weapons in this game.
Yeah, they're okay. Freeze Cracker's like the Metal Blade. Because you can shoot it up, right, down, right, left, right, up, you can shoot it up, right, down, right, left, down, left, and up, left.
You can?
Yeah, what? You never knew that?
No.
Yeah, you can shoot it in 4 directions. You can shoot it in 6. You can shoot it front, back, and in the diagonal patterns.
Bro, you're blowing my mind.
And then when it hits a solid object that isn't like an enemy or a boss, it splits into 4 pieces. You probably already knew that.
Yeah, because of, when I fought Slash Man, whenever I would miss it, the ice would just hit him.
Yeah.
So, we go from that weapon to...
We go from that weapon to... What? We go from... What weapon were we just talking about?
Iceman. No, not Iceman.
So we go from Freeze Cracker, and then let's go to Cloud, Thunderbolt.
I never really used this weapon outside of,
Oh my god, why am I, like, the only person that thinks that this is the best weapon in Mega Man 7?
Really?
It is a very powerful electric shock.
I never used it enough to think of
It
that.
kills so many things in one shot.
It does? How much damage does it do?
Yeah. I think it does like 2 damage on contact.
Huh.
I think like when you hit an enemy it breaks into 2 pieces, right?
Yeah.
I think those do 1 damage each. So yeah, that's interesting.
So we go from him to Junkman. Now, I have to say, Junk Shield, favorite shield.
Okay. I'm gonna say this, Junk Shield is my second favorite shield of all time.
We already know that your favorite shield is the,
Jewel Satellite.
Yeah. Which I still don't understand, but I like Junk Shield personally because it's just like, you can shoot it off, and I think that's cool. Like, no
Yeah,
other...
but it does no damage. It literally does 1 damage for each piece that hits anything.
Still cool. The only other weapon in the series that, like, shoots it so... Like, the only other shield that does that is Acid Man's shield, and then that's at an arch.
And also Leaf Man's shield.
You can't shoot that out, like, individually.
From Woodman. Woodman you can.
I mean, like, individually.
Oh.
But yeah, I guess you can shoot at Woodman's.
Yeah.
So, we go from Junkman to, Crashman.
You mean Burst Man? What are you... Crash Man?
Shit.
You mean Crash Man from 2?
No! There's so many Robot Masters, it gets confusing.
I know you meant from 2. I know, you meant Burst Man from 7.
Yeah. So, what do you think about his weapon?
Pretty terrible.
Honestly, I forgot about it.
It's that little bubble that has like a bomb inside of it.
Huh.
Do you remember it now?
Nah, I don't think I ever used that.
Oh. Well, that's good.
Like, genuinely, I never used that before.
Well, I used it on... This is gonna sound really weird. I used it on Shade Man sometimes.
Okay.
Because he floats in the air, and Wild Coil is really hard to hit him with.
No, it's not really. All you gotta do is jump up when he's, like next to you. You gotta jump up next to him, and then you can hit him with Spring Coil while he's flying.
Yeah, but then he tries to grab you with his legs, and then take health from you.
Which is bullshit.
No, it's not bullshit. It works really well. It works really well.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's annoying.
How?
Because...
It's your fault if you can't dodge it.
Yeah, and it's annoying because he just takes all your health and then he gets sucked back up. And when you're playing it at 3 a.m. in the damn morning, it gets really damn annoying.
What do you mean it gets it now? What do you mean he does so much damage?
I didn't say that.
You said it does. You said it takes away so much health.
Nuh-uh.
It takes away only 4 bars.
Yeah, that's a lot of damn health.
You have 24 bars. You could get hit by that 7 times and you'll still have like 1 health.
Still annoying.
I don't know where you're coming from.
Alright, well, what do you think about, his weapon,
It's just that kind of weapon.
Yeah.
It's not the best. It's not something I used on a regular basis for anything.
Yeah. Well, what about Slashman's weapon?
Slash Claw?
Yeah.
Same thing, barely ever used it. Don't you also relate to that?
Yeah, I only used on Spring Man.
This is also gonna sound like a hot take, but this is gonna sound like a hot take, but I just I felt like Slash Claw. This is gonna sound like a hot take again, but with Gutsman, I used it against, or I didn't use it against the Gutsman refight. Want to know what I used for that fight?
Whoa.
The super adapter. You wouldn't normally be able to hit him, but if you actually fly above his head and then hit him, you might be able to barely hit his head, right?
Yeah.
It does quite a bit of damage. Nobody used that strat because, well, I mean, yeah, it's a pretty crappy strat, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But if you know how to do the strat, it's really good to use.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool, I guess.
And so yeah, what do you think of Spring Man's weapon?
Spring Wild Coil. This is also gonna sound like a hot take. I didn't even use it for the final Wily fight.
Yeah, me neither.
Wanna know what I used?
What?
Freeze Cracker.
I don't remember what I used for it. I know I
Wanna
didn't
know
use.
something interesting?
What?
You can aim Freeze Cracker in a
any
million different
direction.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
Whose weapon do we have next? Turbo Man?
The last weapon is Turbo Man's weapon.
God, I can't even really remember it that well. Scorch Wheel!
Yeah, I forget how it works.
Shit Wheel! That's what I like to call it. I like to call it Shit Wheel.
Damn, bro just roasted
well, I mean,
him.
It's shit. That's why.
Bro just roasted Turbo Man his entire arsenal.
It's shit! I don't know what to tell you. It's hell.
Yeah, I agree.
It's horrible. It's freaking terrible. Can you really blame me for saying that? It's shitty.
I can't
I
blame
don't
you.
tell you. When was one time in the entire game you used this freaking weapon?
Don't know.
I didn't even use it for the Robot Master that was freaking weak to it. Because it's Burst Man's neon main weakness.
Yeah.
Or it's Burst Man's secondary weakness. If you didn't know. But yeah. It's just another shield. That's what I like to say it is. It's a shit shield.
Yeah, so that's it for weapons.
So now we're going on to
stages and music.
Stages and music.
And once again at this segment, I gotta go for 1 second.
Oh my god, he needs to go wee-wee, so I'm gonna take over his life.
Yeah.
For a few minutes here. So stages and music. There were Mega Man 7 is the gameplay is more like hectic. I feel like it was more hectic than in the other games. So that is going to affect this a lot. I just felt that Freeze Man stage, I'll say some really good songs that I pointed out. Freeze Man stage, Shade Man stage, what is it? And I even like the intro stage, like the music. I really like that music. It's really good. But yeah, those are a few tracks that really stood out to me. If I had to choose one main one, probably gonna be one of the robot map. My favorite track from this game has to be the secret stage music that you can play inside of what's his name? Batman stage, Shade Man stage. It is just so good. If you didn't know, if you hold down A on the Nintendo controller while you're entering the stage, something cool happens where the screen freezes, and the intro cutscene of Shade Man to like where he's doing his cool little pose thing. It actually takes longer to do, or for him to do, and it actually plays the Ghost and Goblins theme. Again, if you haven't known and have been living under a rock, if you hold down A while selecting Shade Man stage, you can listen to SNES remix of the Ghost and Goblins theme, which is like really cool. I love that secret. The level design was also pissy a little bit. Like in Freeze Man stage, there was a few annoyances. Like Freeze Man stage, there was what is it called? In Freeze Man stage, there was a lot of that kind of like those really bad jumps where it's like if you barely screw it up, if you barely screw it up, you screw it up and you have to redo the whole thing. Which is like, what the hell, game? But can't really do anything about it, can you? The answer to that is no. Unless you know how to time travel, or unless you have like a time travel device. But yeah, it is pretty. It's pretty stupid. Those jumps are really dumb. They're really precise, and yeah. So yeah, that was cool. Josh, I hear you're right there. Stop playing a scared turtle and acting like you're not there.
Damn.
Stop acting like you're not even there. Again, I'm a 80s nerd. Game from the 80s. Song from the 80s. You know, just me and Josh are doing all this stupid crap where we talk about 80s games, so.
Yeah.
And hell, we actually might talk about games from the early 2000s, I think. Hell, we might even go into, like, Security Breach and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. No, we will. I know we will. Because we're not going to have any other podcasts to do after this stuff.
I guess. So is that it for music and levels?
That is it for music and levels from me. Do you want to say anything?
Well...
Actually, one last thing. I'm going to put in a new category after you're done this section.
Okay. Well, so... I have like 3 stages that I thought were really good, and the others I didn't really like all too much.
Alright, what are they?
The 3 stages is Shade Man's stage, Junk Man's stage, and, what's his name? Oh, shit. I'm not gonna call him Crash Man again.
Burst.
Yeah, Burst Man. It's a weird-ass name. So...
Not really.
Yeah, the main...
I want to burst your ball. That's what I said to Mr. X.
the last video.
In the last game. Hey, it's ironic, because last podcast we did 6, and now we're doing 7. That's unironically ironic.
Yeah.
God, that's a tongue twister.
So, I'm going to talk about these 3 stages really quickly. So...
Alright, sure, do that.
What ones did you talk about?
I mostly talked about Freeze Man and how stupid his jumps are in that stage. If you want to get, like, Rush Search.
Okay.
I think that's called. You have to make those stupid jumps, and it's like a few windows of pixels. It's so stupid.
Yeah, so my favorite stage in this game is Junkman's stage. I find it to be fun.
Really? I would say Shade Man's my favorite. I'll explain why when I introduce the next category.
Okay. So, I like Junkman's stage because of a lot of things. Mainly the, like, secrets and activities that you can do in it, like activating the lifts with the electric ability.
Yep.
Also, that the lava fall. Once you freeze it, you can break it, go down there, and find I think a beat part.
Rush.
Yeah. And I also really like the enemies in this stage. The cockroaches are a pretty cool enemy.
Alright. I was hoping you didn't talk about the Rush thing because of the next category, so just keep going.
Yeah. And then I'll only talk about Junkman's and Shade Man's stages because those are my 2 favorite.
Is that
it? Yeah, so Shade Man's stage, I love the music in this stage.
I actually have, that's gonna go in the next category as well, so...
Damn, what is this category?
Are you ready to hear it?
No, I'm still reviewing Shade Man's stage.
Are you ready to rumble? Alright, just tell me when you're ready.
Yeah. So, I also, like the, I like the pumpkin boss in the stage, mini boss.
Oh, yep.
Pumpkin boss, and I like the secrets, which I'm not going to talk about them because I think I know what the next category is.
Depends, do you?
Yeah, I think so. So, and I also...
Right?
Yeah. I also just overall like how this stage is, like, themed and it plays. I think it's definitely a good stage, and it's close to Junkman's stage in this game for me.
Alright, that makes sense. Is that it?
Yep.
Right. The next category, since it had so many secrets.
Yep.
So, I'm gonna start off by saying, the secrets in this game...
Slap.
You're at least gonna find 50 million of them by the end, by accident. I could sit here and name them all, and which I will. So first there are the rush parts. In Cloudman's stage, you can climb up this ladder by freezing one of the enemies mid-stage. And guess what? That sends you to during the stage. And then that reveals a ladder that you can walk up and get the R, I think, in Rush. Or no, you can get the U in Rush. And then there is the what is it called? In Freeze Man stage, again, another ladder. This one you don't need to do anything for, it's just there. You better have some good platforming skills for this one, because this one's actually quite hard to get to if you don't have any platforming skills at all. What it is you have to do a little bit of platforming, three different platforms that you need to jump on. That sounds easy, but then you do it and you're like, I want to die. And then you get the R. That's the R in Rush, is that one. And then in Junkman stage, there is I think it was the H in Rush, and like Josh said, if you freeze the lava, it will reveal a passageway, and you will go in that passageway right before you go to that giant conveyor section.
Yeah.
And there is the U for Rush, so there's the H for Rush, so cryptic but fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one, there is in Burst Man stage. It's again just out in the open. If you in that water section, almost at the end of the stage, in the water section that's right in front of the boss, if you just time your jumps and time the when you're in the water perfectly, then bang, you got it. And then you have Rush, Rush Jet and Power mixed together to make Rush Jet. That's what it's called in the manual. So I'm not gonna elaborate further than that. So now you have Rush, then Shade Man stage. I don't think you ever knew this, but if you press A on the controller, I've already said this, but I'm gonna explain it to Josh because I've never told him. Josh, did you know that if you hold A on the controller while you're going into Shade Man stage, guess what?
You can change the music to his boss music.
You can change the music to Ghost and Goblins.
Yep.
And you can hear a SNES remake of it.
I knew
which is
it.
like, how in the hell? That is so cool.
Yeah, I knew about that from the Power Guy video.
Yeah, and I was also about to say, I don't know how they got the licensings for that, and then I remember Ghosts and Goblins is made by Capcom, so like,
yeah.
Another example on how stupid I am, oh god, so there's that, and then a secret in Turbo Man stage. Is there even a secret in Turbo Man stage?
Yeah. But hang on, that has to do with Proto Man.
What?
That has to do with Proto Man.
No, Shade Man. Proto Man isn't Shade
Yeah,
Man.
hang on.
Right.
Hang on, could I talk about the Proto Man things?
If you go into
hang on.
what?
Could I talk about the Proto Man things?
Fine.
Thanks. So in Cloudman stage, since he's in the first roster, we'll talk about his secret first. There's this ladder that you can climb up.
Yep.
And if you climb up it, you will go into a room with Proto Man, and he will give you advice to burn down the damn forest.
And it reveals Beat.
Yup.
And guess what?
Whoa.
He doesn't do shit.
Yeah, that's why I didn't get him.
If you fall into him. What the hell?
So, anyway,
Stupid
besides that
burn.
absolute horror show of a Beat, you know. So, after that, in Turbo Man stage, while you're climbing up the ladder, you can walk, if you...
Dogs.
They never stop talking. So...
They don't.
So, if you use, I think if you... Give it up! That just woke everyone up. So... Yeah, so if you, I think if you use Rush Adapter, the flying one, if you let go of the ladder and fly into the wall, you go into a secret room with Proto Man again.
Hey, and I have something else after you're done that, to say as well in Turbo Man stage, because I just remembered it.
Yeah, so after that, if you go to Shade Man stage, then you fight the mini boss, and there's the Sniper Joe there. If you kill him, once you kill that Sniper Joe, you can go past him into the wall and go into the boss store. You talk about this. I gotta go get them to shush.
Okay, so, in Turbo Man stage, if, like, right where the Proto Man's, door is, if you actually, like, there are the different traffic lights. If you go on top of that block and you use the rush search, you can find the ability that lets your arm go across the entire screen when you charge up with the super rush adapter. So that's really cool. We also have the fact with in what is it called? In Slash or in what's his name stage? In Shade Man stage. If you go to a secret route, did you know you can actually find a portrait of Dr. Wily? If you use the rush search engine, you can find you like right under the painting, you can find the energy balancer, which was first introduced in 6. So that's like so cool.
Once you're done talking about that, I want to say something.
Okay, and then we go to what's his name stage. So we did Shade Man and we did Turbo Man. Whose stage do we need to talk about? Spring Man stage. If there's this big boxing glove part, and if you go up into the left side with the secrets, you'll know what I'm talking about if you've played 7 before. But if you go into that section, you can actually like if you go into that section with or if you like jump onto the boxing glove thing, it changes direction, and then you hit it towards a door. It punches open the door, where you can find Otto's screw that he screws into his head, and then he can make items inside of Otto's shop with using half of the cost of how many bolts you'd need to make the item in the first place. So if an E-tank costed 30 bolts before you got the bolt, guess what? It cost 15 bolts to get an E-tank. That's crazy. Let's just remember, E-tanks refill all of your health. Like, every single bar of your health. And you can get 15 bolts by killing at least, like, maybe 10 enemies. Oh my god! Holy crap. That is crazy. I was blown away when I found that out. I was like, dude, have I been missing this my whole life? And that's it. So, you go on.
Alright, so I want to talk about the Rush Shirt's ability really quickly.
Alright.
So, I really do not like it, because I'm going to explain this, because if you're, like, it's just annoying. Like, if you don't use a guide, it's impossible to tell where to use him. And also, if you're like a pixel off, he won't do it.
I was about to say that. I was like, if you do not get it in the perfect position, guess what? No item for you.
Yep.
It's gone. Which is like, Capcom, what the hell is all that about?
Yeah.
It would have been cool if they made like a walking animation for Rush. So if you were a little bit off, he would like walk over to the position and then he would start to pick up.
Yeah.
So, that would be like really cool.
So is that it for secrets?
That's it for secrets. Is that the end of the podcast? We don't really have anything else to talk about.
We haven't talked about Wily.
Right. Wily Stage 1.
I don't really remember that much about the Wily stage in this game, but that's because I'm stupid.
Don't worry. We should call ourselves the stupid podcasters.
Yeah, so talk about that for a second. I'll be right back again. I gotta go piss once again. I drank before we did this podcast, okay?
Oh, so that's why.
Yep. So yeah, you talk about the Wily stages.
You drink like a gallon of water every single time we do a podcast?
Maybe.
That's depressing. Anyways, so Wily Stage 1 is where you enter the castle, and there's that one section where there's the lights, and when you jump, they turn off, and when you land on the earth, when you jump, they turn on, and then when you hit the ground again, they turn off, which is like, yay, I guess. It's kind of cool. It's not like the best invention of all time, but it's a fun little idea. And I'm going to Wily Stage 2, which is the turtle, which is the Gammarizer room. That's what the boss of this stage is called. So the music sounds like you're being interrogated by the FBI, which I don't know what that's all about, but whatever. So, that stage is like, okay, there's nothing you fight Bass for the second time. You actually fight Bass for the first time inside of Wily Stage 1.
Holy shit, we forgot about Bass.
What?
We forgot about Bass.
Yep, forgot to talk about Bass.
We'll talk about Bass as a character.
Forgot to talk about Bass. Forgot to talk about Bass.
The fishing robot master.
The fish robot master. But yeah, anyways, Wily Stage 3. This stage is, I love the music. It's really good. And then there's another secret, actually, I forgot to mention, where there's a spike fall. And some classic Mega Man people won't know what a spike fall is. They probably know it from, like, Happy Wheels or something. But, if you fall, like, a spike fall is, like, when there's a bunch of instant death spikes on the side of the walls, and if you perfectly move in the perfect direction through the spikes, you can get secret items. And this game, if you do that, you get one E-tank, you get one W-tank, and you get one S-tank. Which, I gotta be honest, that's pretty crazy, but that's a lot of items for a spike fall. It is a pretty hard spike fall, though. Like, really hard.
Yeah.
Because, like, in Mega Man 2, for example, it would scroll down the screen, right?
Yeah.
Every single time a screen ended. In this game, the screen doesn't scroll. You just, like, you fall all the way down, and you don't know what's going to hit you next. It is a lot easier than you think, to be completely honest. But, still. And then, Wily Stage 4 is the boss fights.
Yep.
Dude, I love this stage. The music is so kick-ass.
Full-on bop.
And then, robot, there's nothing more to talk about the robots, because we already talked about those. Wily Machine. Not that bad. I bet a lot of people listening to this were about to say, oh, he's in to talk about hell. No, actually, because I'm good. So,
Alright, and so Wily Machine isn't that bad, but the Wily Capsule.
Wily Capsule.
Yup,
Not bad. Still not bad.
Nah, man, you crazy.
And I know this, Capcom said, and a lot of people agree with them, that they wanted to make the hardest Wily Machine of all time. And it's still the hardest Wily Machine of all time. But I want to add something. To prove that this game, or this fight, is not that bad, I just want to say, I've beaten this boss without using a single tank.
Which you're insane for.
Which that has to mean something, but that just shows how easy and predictable the moves are.
Nah, man,
I've only fought in this boss 5 times.
Nah, man,
one of those times was me getting a game over, so whatever. It's me just learning the pattern.
So I fought him one time, and he was hell. I strongly disagree. This is probably the hardest Mega Man boss, in my opinion.
You have not played any of the Zero games, have you?
No, have you?
Or the Game Boy games. You have no idea.
You've played the Zero games?
Yep, some of them.
Well...
I want to live again.
Yeah.
That's fine, who cares?
As of the bosses that I've beaten, this is definitely the hardest.
Oh, yeah. I still say it's the hardest. Which, I mean, that doesn't mean a lot for me, but, like, still, that's quite impressive for a Wily fight to do. Especially since I find a lot of bosses, like, very, very easy.
Yeah. So, we forgot about bass, so you want to talk about bass for a little bit?
Absolutely not. There's nothing to talk about him with.
Yes, there is.
Like who?
Bass.
Or like what?
Bass.
What about Bass? Oh, you mean like the story of Bass?
Yeah. What do you think about him and stuff?
Unnecessary.
I
feel like Mega Man 7 could have been perfectly fine without him. The story did not need Bass.
Yeah, it didn't.
So, yeah, that's the end of the podcast, I guess.
Yeah, so, you want to spin the wheel?
Yeah, sure, let's spin the wheel.
Alright.
So now we are playing Mega Man.
Alright.
Mega Man. Mega Man.
Alright, I'm spinning the wheel.
Alright. And we have Mega Man.
Alright, gotta go into it. I'm not updating my wheels, you stupid app. Alright, it is Mega Man 1.
Hey, that's really good.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really good. Holy crap.
I think that started the whole thing.
A lot of people that don't know us yet, we love 1.
Yeah.
It's just, for a first time, they literally smacked it. Like, they punched out of the park as much as I punched Mr. X's ball. So...
Damn it. Alright. Well, so yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see you next time for Mega Man 1.
So yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one, and yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.